about you is that you have ambition to be great. My job is to coach you to get all that greatness out of you.
What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. As usual, we are back here for another one. Like I said I would, I am here on the weekend to drop my big board. Appreciate each and every one of you for coming out. Go ahead, smash that like button. Your boy went through it today. I went through my dock because I have a MacBook to connect my Ethernet, and for some reason my Ethernet is not connecting to my dock. And obviously, as luck would also strike me, right now as I'm looking in StreamYard, I can see that the internet connection isn't very good right now. So why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it double down on me? Let's be honest. I mean, so we're gonna wait it out and hope that the quality goes up here a little bit. Like, I knew this would happen. Why wouldn't it? This is obviously my luck. Appreciate each and everyone coming out. Yeah, I can already tell you my internet is not rocking real well right now. So we're gonna give it a second here. Hopefully it balances out here. Shout out to Highly Bread. He just became a YouTube member. Shout out to you, homie. Shout out to you. Everything should be good right now. It's getting better. It should be good. It just looks like it faced out. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If anyone out there has if you are out there and you know Max very well, I need you to email me at finsidethenfl@gmail.com because it's ridiculous. So obviously my episode it's just the luck of the draw. Coming off this weekend, obviously the combine was kind of crazy. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, everyone knows how high I was on Kyren Williams, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that man tumbled down my draft board. He is the first ever player on any big board I've ever done that has been affected by his combine results. And even with the adjusting to a 4.65 40, fanatical, yeah, I ordered a Thunderbolt off Amazon. So I I've never actually had a player on any big board I've ever done get affected. And I get, Jeremiah, I get what you're saying about the pro day. The problem is I never trust the pro day. Right? You never trust the pro day. And the reason why I don't trust the pro day is the reason why is because they juice the results, their own schools, right? So it's kind of the combine, but I also understand the issues of the combine, all that, but I'm just gonna say this. Okay. That running, and I saw people out here, oh well, Le'Veon Bell and da-da-da-da-da. Dude, I saw someone say, who'd they say? They said, first of all, they had to list a bunch of receivers. I'm trying to remember the names that I saw. It was, I've seen Le'Veon Bell get thrown around, and I was like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. Yeah, someone else said like Terrell Davis, Alfred Morris. Terrell Davis was 217. Alfred Morris was like 223. Kyren Williams came in at 5'9", 194. And it wasn't just the 40. The guy had like a 9'8" broad jump and a 33-inch vert. When you look at his athletic profile, the reality of the situation is this. Not many guys have been successful at that size with those combine results. Like, don't be comparing this guy to someone who's like 215, 220, who's got like, man, that's, 215, that's 20 pounds. Why do you think Algier didn't fall down my board? Algier didn't fall down my board because of his athletic profile, his size to what he ran a 4.6, but look at the size of him. Listen, everyone knows I'm all about the 20 tape. It's all 22 or nothing for me. But there does have to come a point when you have to take in data and analytics. You have to. Like, I thought he was like 205, 210 to begin with, and I expected a 4.5. If he would have came in at 194 and he would have ran like a 4.55, it still would have been great, but I could have I wouldn't have moved him. Right? And I do gotta say this. I mean, you gotta remember, I've been talking about Breece Hall on this channel since last draft season when I was joking or half joking, half speculating. Well, if they don't draft someone this year, they can just draft Breece Hall next year. By God, Breece Hall. By God, Breece Hall. Now, is everyone a little bit more on board with what I was saying about potentially taking a running back at 29? With that 50-year option, Breece Hall and a 50-year option? I don't know, man. That's kind of very enticing to me. Same thing with Matariza in the give me Matariza at 100 or move up from 100. I don't know if you guys saw his combine today, but the left leg of God is what I'm calling Matariza. So we're gonna talk about Dameon Pierce when I get to my big board. He's on my big board. Yeah, Rome Gray next year got a legit draft class. I want Bijan. So BC. So BC. So BC. So I want a running back. I think there's gonna be options. I think it could be very interesting to see because of Isaiah Spiller didn't test. It's gonna be very interesting to see how Isaiah Spiller stands out. I love the guy. You're gonna see I have him. He's obviously in my top 5. I think he's fantastic. Honestly, back to Kyren for a sec. Can I be completely honest with everyone here? If I was Kyren's agent, whether he was hurt, whatever the hell he was going on, his agent should be fired for allowing him to test like that. Should have never even let him hit the freaking field looking like that. So, I mean, I'm not trying to hate. I'm not trying to do anything like that, but like, damn, who said that was a good idea? Who said, yeah, let's do that? So, unreal. And I don't know, guys, the other guy I gotta talk about, because we're obviously not going to do a defensive tackle big board. Jordan Davis. I had someone say to me last week, they're like, what if Jordan Davis fell to you at 29? What would you do? And I'm like, man, you got to think about that because Jordan Davis, right, on rundowns, you kick him inside, and then you can flank him with Christian Wilkins and Raekwon Davis. And Jordan Davis slides right in the middle, right? And then, on passing downs, you can kick Raekwon back in, but then again, would you even want to? But I don't even think he makes, after his testing, I don't even think he makes it to 29. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. That guy is an absolute freaking monster. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. And if you've been following me on Twitter, I think I talked about him. I think Treylon Burks is going to be gone by 29. Rome, I think Jameson Williams is going to fall because of the ACL tear, right? Like teams know they're not going to be able to use him until, basically you're not going to be able to use him until the last 8 games of the season potentially, right? I like Nakobe Dean. My only issue with Nakobe Dean is still top 5 for me. Nakobe Dean, the issue I have with Nakobe Dean is his size. That's the only thing. Coke Master has a wrench hammer. I just gave it to him. Dude, I want Drake London, but Drake London is probably going to be the first receiver off the board. He will not be there. He will not be there. And yes, Jalen Waddle got a haircut. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Great stuff. Absolutely. I saw people out here. People out here kind of comparing him to Jalen Hurts, saying he looks like Jalen Hurts now. I don't think so. Hammer says, I need a haircut. Bro, I need a haircut. Man, I'm down for Jameson Williams. I'd be see if I could stretch it out. If I could stretch it out and get him to at 50 because of the injury, oh man. Gotta let him know. Like I said, here's the thing. There's gonna be if Linderbaum is there, you got to think about it. If Jameson Williams is there, you got to think about it. There's a couple other receivers that if they're there, you got to think about it too. I don't think Burks is going to be there. I do not think Drake London is going to be there by any stretch. You got to think about Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker if they're there. Because Kenneth makes a lot of sense in this team. On the team, Christian Watson, if he's there, you got to think about that. Linebackers, right? Not only Nakobe Dean, everyone's sleeping on Leo Chenal. If Leo Chenal's there, you got to think about that too. Even I like Chad Muma, Christian Harris, Troy Anderson's pretty good. Quay Walker. I think those guys are more around 50 potentially, but there's some linebackers there you got to think about too. I'm not taking Calvin Austin at 29. He's too small. Roman, you're going to find out who I prefer, Hall or Walker. Don't worry, we're going to get into it. I'm going to give it 5 more minutes and we're going to hop in. I'm going to give time for people to roll in here and then we're going to get into the big board. I think there's going to be a surprise in the top 5 for all of you guys. I think there's going to be a very, very big surprise for some of you guys. A name you guys haven't heard me talk a lot here. You've heard me mention it here and there. But when I watched his tape, I fell so in love with this guy. So I've talked about him a few times and I've talked about him backstage, but briefly. And the tape, I just fell in love and I think he's a perfect fit. So we'll be talking about that. My thoughts on Dotson are, what do I have? Dotson, he's outside of my top 5. But barely outside of my top 5 receivers. I like the guy. The thing is, I look at the receiver class and there's 9 receivers, literally 9 receivers. There's 9 receivers I would be very happy with. Some of them either at pick 29 or some of them either at pick 50. And I actually said that to someone earlier this week. So, there's the receiver class. There's 9 receivers I'm okay with them taking at either 29 or 50. Like really okay with. I really like this receiver class. I really, really do. I like the running back class too. Again, I like guys, I like man, people are going to look at me and they're going to be, oh, you're a hater. You got this guy ranked at 12 or 13. Like, there's guys on my running back list that, man, if we took them later on, can I be happy with my running back list? All 15 guys I'm going to talk about, I'm happy if they take any one of these guys at any different point of the draft. It's just about draft value of where you take them. Same thing, to be honest with you, with the wide receiver class. Like, guys, I've been fighting between 15, 16, and 17. Like, there's 17 guys in this draft class I really like receiver wise. It just depends on where they take them, right? Like, you know, I got George Pickens closer to 10 than I do to 5. And I really like George Pickens, but people are going to be like, oh, you got him ranked here, blah, 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 blah. But, like, I like George Pickens a lot. It's like, what's separating 10 from 9, 9 to 8, 7 to 6, 5 to 4, 6 to 5. All these guys is like small margins, like nothing massive. The biggest gap from like 1 to 2 and then down is like center. But there's like the running back class and the receiver class I really like. I really do. So, like, even Michi. People are going to look at where I have Michi. They're going to be like, oh, I can't believe you have Michi there. And I like Michi, though. I like him a lot. But it's just there's other guys I like more. Like, that's just how this class I've been set. Running back and receiver have really stood out like that to me. Linebacker, it's, linebacker, there's like, 9-10 guys I really like at different points again, but then once you get outside that, it's kind of like, eh. So, just like quarterback, right? Like, really the only quarterbacks I would draft, if I'm drafting someone in the first round, the only quarterback I would draft, and I've been saying this, is Malik Willis. You remember I've been telling you guys, if Dable went to the Giants before he went to the Giants, I said he needs to draft Malik Willis if he goes there. Wherever he goes, he needs to draft Malik Willis because that's his Josh Allen. And then if I'm going to go a guy in the second round, and he probably might slip in there, is Sam Howell. Other than that, like, Ritter has serious accuracy issues on film, but I know his athleticism was off the chart at the combine. I like Ritter, but I don't like him in the first, which is where he might go. The only quarterback in this class I really like in the first is Malik. That's it. Really. And even still, you know what I mean? He needs work, but it's just the tools is why I'd take him in the first. Other than that, everyone else I'd probably like. Kenny Pickett being in the first, no thank you. No thank you. So, and I'd be down for us drafting a backup quarterback in the mid rounds and developing them. So, but all right, we're about to hit the 20-minute mark. I want to get into this film study with all of y'all. Y'all already know what time it is, baby. We're gonna get into this. So we're gonna get this running back stuff pulled up here. All right. Guys, I'm really excited to get into this. I really like this class. And I forgot how much work these things were, so it humbled me real quick. So, let's get into it. And the receiving, I might do it next Sunday or I might do it this week, but the receivers will be coming this week as well. All right. So let's get into this. Let's get into reasons, top 10, big board, and honorable mentions for the running backs in the 2022 NFL draft class. And as usual, if you're used to this stuff, let's start off with the honorable mentions as we always do. So here we go, baby. Y'all ready for this? Da-da-da. So at 15, we got Jerion Ely from Ole Miss. He's a shifty player. He's got an explosive first step. He's a good receiver. He's small size. He's 5'9". at 185, but you know, unlike the homie, uh, Kyren Williams, sorry, you know, this guy put up a 4.54 40, I believe. So he's small back, but not out here running a 4.72 unofficially, you know. Zamir White at number 14. Could have came out last year, came back this year. Not afraid of contact, loves the physical aspect of the game. It's explosive with good lateral quickness, but injuries are what have slowed him down agility wise. Good size, 6 foot, 215. Number 13, a guy I really like, a sleeper in this draft, Devontae Price out of FIU. He's got great burst. He's explosive he's explosive. When you look at his game on film, he's a good athlete. He racks up yards, averaging about 6 yards per carry. He's 6'1", 198. You know, would I like to add him a little bit more weight, but big fan of Devontae Price. 12, I got Damian Pierce out of Florida, you know, kind of an athletic freak. You know, this guy, you know, he can squat 705, right? Like he's something good. He displays great contact balance. He can block. He's got good ball security. Fan of his size as well. And then you got a man crush of mine, a guy I've been talking about for a couple years, and that's Max Borghi. Um, you know, out of Washington State. He's been a man crush of mine for 2 years. He's a big time sleeper. He's kind of like a poor man's Christian McCaffrey when you watch him. He's got quick, nimble feet. He gets to the second level quick and is explosive in open space. You know, he catches the ball real well. And he gets yards after the catch and after contact. You know, this guy is a guy where you look at his size, you look at his running style, he could potentially do damage in an outside zone. So we go from 6 to 10 now. Let's start at the bottom here. At 10, I have Jerome Ford out of Cincinnati. He's got good change of direction ability. Has the home run ability. Once he gets to that second level, he's quick, explosive, shifty, and evasive. 52 forced missed tackles in 2021. Could end up being, you know, you're going to hear me say this about a couple of guys, could be one of the biggest sleepers in this draft when it's all said and done. And my ranking might not even be doing Jerome Ford justice. He shows really good vision as a ball carrier, and he's got good contact balance. He got good size at 5'10", 210 pounds. Number 9, Brian Robinson. He's a physical. I like him a lot. He's a physical runner who lives for contact and running through the inside gaps. Some of the best contact balance in this class. Looks like he's impossible to take down sometimes. You know, bouncing off bodies like a pinball in a machine. He's a dependable blocker who works his ass off to keep the quarterback clean too. 6'1", 226. He's a 3-down back in the NFL. He's a power back. He's a patient runner who displays good vision, pad level, and keeps his legs churning after contact. Just a bring your lunch pail to work kind of guy. This is another man crush of mine. I remember talking about him last summer to someone who used to be a model on this channel. He's not anymore. But Sincere McCormick out of UDSA. I'm actually a really big fan of him. I'm probably higher on him than most, but you know, I watched tape on him last offseason and fell in love with what I saw. And he was even better in 2021. He posted back-to-back 1,450 plus yard rushing seasons. He had 11 rushing touchdowns in 2020 and 15 this season. I think he might be one of the biggest sleepers of this draft, in my opinion. He has elite vision. He sees holes when they're not there. He can fit through, and he shows a good level of awareness with incoming defenders. He shows fantastic contact balance and will fight through contact or literally drag defenders for extra yards. 5'9", 205, and he has a very intriguingly high ceiling. A big fan of him. I really like Sincere McCormick. Watch this guy. Watch Sincere McCormick. I'm telling you. Ran a 4.6, I believe it was, too. But you look at his size, right? So Kyren Williams. Now I got him at 7. Guys, I had him at 2. This man dropped 5 spots on my board because of that combine. Because when you look at his athletic profile, you cannot find running backs that have a high success rate at the NFL level with it. So, he used to be much higher, and he is the first player since I've been doing this that has dropped, let alone dropped significantly because of his athletic showing at the combine. I've never done this before. That's how much that combine showing scared the hell out of me. He is and the reason why he didn't drop any further is because his freaking film is good. It's so good. I hope he proves me wrong because his film is that good. But that athletic profile, if that doesn't scare you, I don't know what the hell does. He's one of the better blockers in this class. He picks up stunts, delays, blitzes, shows a really good level of awareness. He has good vision. He makes himself skinny enough to fill through the holes he sees. And now that he's sub 200, it makes sense. He doesn't play like he's 5'9" and sub 200 though. He's physical, but that was college and now he's entering the NFL. Good luck, son. Displays good contact balance, rarely getting pushed backwards and falls forward for extra yardage more often than not, which is what was even more surprising when I saw him come in at 194. So, pains me, but it is what it is. It pains me, but it is what it is. I don't know what else to say. His film is very good. His film is very, very good. But the athletic profile is very, very awful. Guys, you don't know how much I was torn with this. This is why the video didn't come out yesterday. Number 6, James Cook. Dual threat, can be a weapon running or catching out of the backfield, allowing him to be impactful immediately in any offense. Shows quick burst, patience for holes to open, and the vision to find them consistently, and is elusive enough to do serious damage in open space. He's super agile. He shows elite ball security, which is a big plus in a coach's book. He's also a perform back, right? He works with Nick Hicks and everyone over there at Perform. He's super agile and shows elite ball security, which like I said, is huge. I think he's perfect for the outside zone scheme as a runner. I really do think he is perfect for the outside zone scheme as a runner. As a receiver, he's arguably the best route running back in this class. Like, he's a phenomenal route runner. Like, he is a very good route runner. And 5'11", 199. Doesn't scream bell cow, but I'd like to see his strength improve. It's a glaring weakness on film at times. Not much more of an arm tackle shedder. He's not breaking any big tackles anytime soon, but I really like the kid. In an outside zone, he can be deadly. I believe that. So number 5, Tyler Algier, a guy I've been talking about for a while now. Absolutely love Algier. Slept on really because he went to BYU, but wake up. He is a top 5 running back in this class, in my opinion. You're talking about a guy who's got tree trunks for legs, 5'11", 224, good creativity, low center of gravity, impressive contact balance to match. Good blocker, squares defenders, reads blitzes, delays, etc. very well. He shows very good vision, sees holes before they open up, has the patience needed at the line of scrimmage for them to open, and the short air explosiveness and burst to hit the hole hard and get to the second level. I think he's a perfect fit for a zone runner under McDaniel. He excels in the physical game. He loves to run through you, not around you, and comes downhill like a boulder chasing Indiana Jones. plays at a solid pad level, but also shows that he knows when to drop them to fight through contact for every extra yard possible. A high effort player, to say the least. He's a pretty good pass catcher. A couple times on film, he displayed the ability to catch balls that weren't very well thrown behind him. His change of direction and lateral movement looks just okay at times, and he needs to get better at the second level in terms of being elusive more to make people miss instead of seeking contact because he does leave big plays on the field seeking contact instead of being elusive. Number 4, this might be the surprise for all of y'all, but I am in love. This man has become a draft crush of mine quietly, and I went back to the tape to confirm. I love Rachaad White, and when I saw him ball out at the combine this weekend, loved every minute of it. You know, everyone knows I'm a Jaden Daniels fan who's now transferred out of Arizona State, so I've had the pleasure of watching Rachaad White his whole time at Arizona State. I love this kid. I love Rachaad White. We're talking about a guy who's got soft hands, which helps him be a great receiving threat out of the backfield. This guy glides when he moves laterally, and this guy has, when he changes direction on a cut, he glides to change direction. He just looks so smooth and effortless when he moves. He shows a very creative side with his willingness to get extra yards. He'll use a spin move or a juke to show his elusiveness, or he'll just run through a defender with a stiff arm to show his physical side. He's willing and able to be a solid blocker when he's called upon as well. He's got quick feet, he's slippery, and a guy who can make defenders miss. He's got good contact balance, bounces off defenders looking for any extra yards possible in front of him. Absolutely love this guy. He finds the next gear when he gets to the second level against defenders while showing the patience and vision at the line of scrimmage to find running lanes to maneuver through. He's just so deadly in open space, and because he can get there by rushing the ball or receiving it, it makes him potentially a huge weapon at the next level in the right system. Talk about great ball security. He never fumbled once during his collegiate career. 6 foot 214 with his blend of speed and athleticism. I think he is a 3-down back in the NFL. He needs to become a better blocker. He can get caught in waiting to be engaged instead of looking to put someone on their ass. And he needs to lower his pad level a tad. Sometimes he can get caught running pretty high. Isaiah Spiller, he is at number 3 for me. Huge fan of this guy. I think Isaiah Spiller is special. I think he has the ability to be special at the next level. I think he's arguably the most elusive back in this draft. I mean, talk about a guy who can stop on a dime and change direction and cut with ease. He's elite at those things. He's consistently and constantly turning plays that seem dead in the water to a gain worth talking about. This guy's the definition of a playmaker because Spiller makes them when they don't even seem to be there. He's got elite vision. This guy sees the holes before they develop. He reads his cutback lanes very, very well. You're talking about a guy who just sees things before they develop all the time. He's an extremely, extremely patient runner whose explosiveness allows him to reap the reward of waiting for the holes to develop. He's a physical back who can take on and work through contact for extra yards, which when you add in the elusiveness I spoke of earlier, he has big yardage potential in the NFL, I think. Great receiver, can trust him to be dependable out of the backfield, either catching the ball or keeping his QB clean in pass pro. Has great contact balance, good size, 6 foot, 217. Doesn't miss a beat speed-wise when he moves laterally or is forced to change his direction. He has great spatial awareness, reads defensive angles really well, and bursts at the line of scrimmage. Allows him to get into space often where he can get to a deadly level. Carried a lackluster offense for all of 2020. Basically, stopping Spiller was the defense's number one priority, and he finished with 1,011 yards rushing, 6 rushing touchdowns, and average 5.6 yards per carry. His long speed is where he needs to improve, and the power at the goal line is where Spiller needs to improve as well, because he did leave touchdowns on the field at Texas A&M because of his lack of power at the line of scrimmage. But other than that, he is a pretty complete prospect. Kenneth Walker is my number 2 guy. Remember, a lot of people forget he started out at Wake Forest, and then he transferred, obviously, portal to Michigan State, where he became the uncontested number 1 back, which he was not at Wake Forest, and he absolutely popped off. So let's start off with some Wake Forest highlights to kick things off. He's a super explosive back whose first step burst allows him to get to the second level in the blink of an eye. He's also a decisive runner with good vision. He sees holes develop before they happen and rarely gets caught hesitating at the line of scrimmage. He can also change direction on a dime if a block is whiffed or a hole quickly fills up with the speed to bounce it outside and get to the second level almost as quickly as he does running through the tackles, it seems. He's just so quick and shifty. Man, if you guys haven't watched this game against Michigan, there's going to be highlights in here. You need to watch the game against Michigan. His acceleration is really noticeable too. He can bounce off a block, then gear back up or stutter step a linebacker, and then bam, he is gone. Speaking of bouncing off blocks, awesome contact balance. He always keeps his legs turning and stays low with a good pad level. Not only is he able to take on contact, but he's durable with no health concerns and he protects the ball very well. Always focused on securing it with 2 hands in contact areas. People question his pass catching ability, and I get it. He's not a good route runner, but he's only really used as a check down option or on play auction and in the flats. And from what I saw, he has sturdy, dependable hands. He's got 4.38 speed, and that's nothing to scoff at. He's speedy. It shows up on film. He's athletic, explosive, has a long speed you desire. And like I said, it shows consistently on film. I think he's scheme diverse too. I think that's why he's number 2. He's outside inside. He's an outside inside zone or gap schemes. He can do it all. His worst attribute as a back is clearly he's not a good blocker and pass bro. He is willing though, but he's just not good at it. But if you coach him up, if you're willing and you're showing you're willing, then you're willing to be coached. And I think he can become a competent blocker with coaching because he has the first step already. You got to be willing. And he's a very physical runner. So at times, so he can translate that if he wants to. It's just he's got to get coached up. Number 1, he's been my number 1 coming out since last year. I've been talking about this guy. Everyone knows I love him. Kyren was my man crush, and that's only because Breece Hall was my number 1 guy, and that's been known for a long time. A player I've been talking about since 2020 who I jokingly say we would just take next year if we didn't take a running back last year. Well, we didn't take a running back last year, and I've pitched since the Dolphins landed at 29 in the 2022 draft that we should consider taking Hall at 29, and now after the combine, 29 maybe too far down to get him. He's the opposite of Kyren Williams. The combine proved what the film told you. He's the best back in this class and a borderline athletic freak. He's got elite patience, decision-making, decisiveness as a runner, and understanding angles to open space and that defenders take in pursuit to make a quick cut, beat them. He's well built at 5'11", 217, but is deceptively explosive for his size on tape, and the combine verified that with his 4.39 40, 40-inch vert, and 10.6 broad. He's got a great contact balance. He brushes arm tackles off like dirt on his shoulder and has the speed to kill an opposing team if he bounces off a tackle at the second level. And there's open field around him. He's a legitimate home run threat. He's a really creative runner who will make a defender miss with a spin move or make them look silly with a juke move. And he's just tough to tackle as a receiving back too. 74 missed tackles. Forced missed tackles last year, 7th most in the country. He's the type of back that can get you in the red zone, but also finish the drive off. Legit 3-down back. Has 41 rushing touchdowns and 3,044 yards over the last 2 seasons. His lateral movement is very good, and due to his fantastic acceleration and quick feet, he doesn't lose a step when he moves laterally either. Really good receiver, soft hands. Route running could still use a little bit of work, but he's definitely a weapon out of the backfield as a receiver that opposing defenses have to be aware of. He's an okay pass blocker, again, willing, able, and capable, but he's not going to stand out, but he's also nowhere near a liability. Another concern is the tread on his tires, 718 carries in 3 years, but I'm not worried. Look at Jonathan Taylor. Everyone wanted to worry about that. I think Breece Hall is so damn special. It's unreal. I absolutely love this guy. I think he is a game changer. And if you can get him with that 5th-year option, I think that is something to legitimately consider. Breece Hall is the best running back in this draft and would look deadly in the outside zone. So, guys, that is my running back big board. I love all the guys on there. There's tons of guys out there. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's a great draft class, and I truly, truly believe there are difference makers to be had in multiple rounds here. So whether it's a Breece Hall, a Kenneth Walker, an Isaiah Spiller, Rachaad White, I love Rachaad White, Algier, Cook, Sincere McCormick, Brian Robinson, I'd still roll the dice on Kyren Williams on day 3. Jerome Ford, there's tons of options and there's tons of fits in this outside zone scheme under Mike McDaniel. And I cannot wait to see how the running back room shapes up after free agency and the draft, because I would not be surprised if they dipped into both pools. And if they don't take a running back in free agency, you got to wonder, is Breece Hall an option at 29? Shout out to Julian, Best Fins channel on YouTube. Keep it up with the $100 donation. Appreciate you, Julian. Thank you very much, sir. I love it. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Topher, 1999 super sticker. Thank you, boys. I want to tell y'all why this matters so much to me right now, especially on videos like this. There is a company out there called XOS Sports. They handle taping all 22 and taping and recording all 22 for colleges around the nation. They will demonetize YouTube videos, suspend Twitter accounts, etc., if they find you using their all 22. They won't make you take the video down, but they'll demonetize it. So all those donations really, really help when it comes to when it comes to these type of videos. I remember last year, a lot of work goes into these videos, man. A ton of work goes into these big board videos. So the fact that you guys are showing me some love on it, I truly appreciate it. If there's ever going to be videos where you thought about donating for, these are the videos to donate for, because they do get hit every now and then. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Oh, shout out to the Watch Mister. He donated $20. He said, coming in hot, always here to support your reason. Appreciate you, man. South Florida Dawn, 49 super sticker. I appreciate you, my guy. Always showing love on Twitter too, South Florida. So guys, before I get out of here, if you guys got any draft questions or running back questions, remember, I only do top 15. So there are guys who fall outside of my top 15. So if you don't see them, that doesn't mean I don't like them. It just means it's a really good class. So Irving McDaniel is not a running back by committee guy. That is a fallacy. What has happened is their number one running backs have been injured. Also, he drafted Trey Sermon in the 3rd round last year and Elijah Mitchell in the 5th or 6th. But he drafted Trey Sermon in the 3rd. They are not a committee. What happens is their main guys, going back to Jerick McKinnon, their main guys that they pay get hurt, go down, and then they have to rely on other people to step up. So it is not a committee. And Irving Mitchell had over 260 carries last year. That is not a committee back. That is a lead back. And he missed about 4 games. So that tells you he would have had over 300 carries if he would have not missed those games. So that is a fallacy. That is not how it works. He is not, it is a committee. It is, they find someone and they roll. They drafted 2 in the draft. The 3rd, Trey Sermon in the 3rd, and Elijah Mitchell a couple rounds later. What they just have had bad luck with injuries. Remember, they gave Jerick McKinnon all that money coming out of Minnesota, and then Jerick McKinnon got hurt, and they had to rely on other guys to step up, right? The reason why Jeff Wilson was one of their leading rushers a couple years ago was due to injuries. That's how that they've had a string of bad luck at the running back position over there. That's what their problem was. But Elijah Mitchell would have been over 300 rushing attempts. I mean, he had over 260 and he still missed 4 games. So they will find a back and they'll find complementary backs. That's what you're going to do, right? So that's what I expect us to look like and look for. Now, I expect them to sign a Raheem Mostert or a Jeff Wilson in free agency. And I've heard rumbling San Francisco wants to keep Raheem Mostert. And I mean, I don't expect them to draft Breece Hall at 29 by any stretch of the imagination. Any stretch of the imagination. It would be nice, and I think it would be one of the right things to do, but I don't expect them to. I expect them to dip in between the second and the fourth to fifth. They will draft someone. Reason why not draft a lineman or receiver and send the Giants a third rounder for Saquon? Big upgrade. No, Saquon's asking price that apparently was going around the combine was a 4th round pick. My issue with Saquon, it's not the compensation, and it's not even that he's injury prone. He's not the same player he was. He has lost a step or two because of the injuries that have piled up. So it's more so what the injuries have done to Saquon's body than it is him being injury prone, if you understand what I'm saying. Justin Moss, I would not be surprised. Zion Johnson tested ridiculously. Him and Kenyon Green are the best interior guys, not named Tyler Linderbaum in this draft. I would not be mad if they took him at 29. Are you still good with drafting David Bell in a later round? I am good with drafting Bell. Okay. First of all, Bell, you got to watch the tape. He plays faster than what his 40 did. He was never going to be seen as an athletic freak. David Bell, it was a bit of a disappointing combine, but it didn't drop Bell at all. If you had watched the tape on Bell, it didn't disappoint. Now, Kyren Williams definitely disappointed because we thought like 4.5 speed here. And his athleticism, we knew he wasn't an explosive athlete, but it was worse than what we even thought. David Bell, I would still draft. David Bell's staff draft stock, I believe, did not get affected on my big board because of his combine. Troy, sorry, my bad. Tay, do you see them trading down out of the first? I think it's something they should explore. Like if Linderbaum's gone, if a lot of the top, like Jameson Williams gone, London's gone, Burks is gone, if top receivers are gone, I think it's something you got to explore. It all depends on what the board looks like. George, YouTube does take a 30% cut. The best way to actually send me money is actually through PayPal. That's the hands down best way. PayPal.me/Phinside. It comes directly to me. And like, for example, all the money sent today, I will not see till April, and then I will only see 70% of everything. PayPal is the best way because I'm Canadian and we don't have Cash App and Venmo out here. Exactly, Bari. David Bell is like Keenan Allen. He's a great runner, but he's not athletic. Exactly. David Bell did not drop. I was expecting that. Guys, thank you for reminding me, Wooback. I need everyone. First of all, I need to smash that like button. These videos help me with my friend Al. Algorithm. Help me out with my friend Al. Smash the like button. We are 35 subscribers away from 7,000. Pound that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Turn on the bell button so you can get notifications when I go live, because we're going to drop in the wide receiver big board this week. And then my next big board after that is going to be linebacker, because, next weekend, basically what happens is this is going to be a big week. We're going to talk about a lot of things this week. I got a show I'm going to do tomorrow, a couple questions. I'm actually going to open it up to you guys because I have a question I want to pose to you guys. So we're going to be going live tomorrow and talking about all that. And then we're going to be dropping the wide receiver big board this week. And then the tampering window opens on the 14th. So from the 14th and all of next week, we're going to be locked in on free agency. And then after that, the week after that, we're going to be getting back with a linebacker big board. And then we'll get back in to the rest of the big boards, depending on how free agency plans out. All right. So, Mike says, hey, Reason, your first 15 running backs look like a box of chocolates, different flavors, but good. And man, like, there's still guys out there I like. First of all, I got to give you props on a Sunday for coming out here and straight up dropping a beautiful Forrest Gump reference. I mean, kudos to you. You're an absolute legend, first of all, on that. Second of all, there's players I didn't even talk about that I liked, that I tried to, and the same thing's going to happen with my receivers. There's guys that aren't going to make my top 15 that I still like. And it sucks, but it is what it is. Like, I love, like, my 16th guy is probably Tyler Batty out of Missouri. I really like Tyler Batty, but he just didn't make it. You know what I mean? I don't mind Abraham Smith out of Baylor. He's okay. You know? So, like, there's other guys like Hassan Haskins, Isaiah Pacheco. Like, there's other guys, Deshaun Corbin out of Florida State, Keontae Ingram out of USC. There's other guys I like, but I just, what am I going to do? 20? My whole thing is 15. My whole thing is top 10, and then I give you the honorable mentions, Like, there's other guys, like, there's guys I like in this draft. They just didn't make it. Like, I liked Pierre Strong out of South Dakota State. I didn't like him as much as his combine showed us how good he was, but I liked him. He would have made my top 20. But there's guys out there that I just couldn't talk about because they didn't make it. But I would be okay with them taking them on day 3. Like, if you're going to take Tyler Batty on day 3, if you're going to take Zonovan Knight out of North Carolina State, if you're going to take Hassan Haskins, if you're going to take, Deshaun Corbin, Keontae Ingram, if you're going to take any of these guys on day 3, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. It's a good class. I'm fine. Ty Chandler out of North Carolina. You want to take him on day 3? Knock yourself out. I'm okay with that. Justin, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, Rome. There's so many, even Rome just said, oh, I forgot about Keontae Ingram from USC. Because there's so many that fit. There's so many that make sense. There's a lot of guys I like. There's a lot of guys I like here in this draft. So you just got to do the research. You just got to do the homework. That's all. Man, shout out to the homie Joseph Fins Up sending the $3 donation. And shout out to JJ's Goodies for sending the $12 donation. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. But yeah, there's a lot of running backs I like. And it's the same thing with the receiver class. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I'm going to tell you guys right now, a couple guys, I'm just going to give you a couple names off the top of my cuff that did not make it, that in my top 15, like Alec Pierce and Khalil Shakir just missed out making my top 15, and I really like them. I really like them. But they just missed out. You know what I mean? That's just the way it happens sometimes. That's just the way it happens. That is literally, what else can you do? That's just when you're sticking to 15, there's only so many names you can fit in. right? So, it just is what it is. You're gonna have to live with it, and that's why you just when you lock them in, gotta be confident in what you're locking in. So, that's why I actually was planning to go yesterday, but the Kyren thing messed me up. So, yes, Khalil Short, Rome, Khalil Shakir, and Alec Pierce are literally my 16th and 17th. Because I'll give you a hint. I liked Jalen Tolbert just a little bit more. It was between those three guys to fall at 15. And I liked Jalen. Those guys are literally hairs in between each other. I like Jalen Tolbert just a little bit more. Oh, appreciate you, George. Thank you very much. Love you too, brother. You've been one of my day one supporters. You've always looked out for me. Appreciate you a ton, George. You're my guy, bro. You know what it is. Absolutely love you, homie. And guys, if you didn't see Matt Ariza today at the Combine, the Matt Ariza agenda continues on Phinside the NFL. Matt Ariza, get this man. If you got to move up from 100 to get Matt Ariza, make sure you take care of your ish in free agency and with the first 2 picks so you can move up and get him. I need Matt Ariza in aqua and orange. Man, you guys are just showing so much love today. Shout out to Topher for the $23 donation. Topher, you are the freaking man. I love you, brother. See you on Twitter doing your thing too, Topher. Appreciate you, man, for always coming out and showing out. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we got a couple things we're going to talk about. I'm not going to drop that on you. I gave you a hint earlier. But tomorrow night, we're going to be back. We're going to talk about everything. I want to open it up to you guys because I want to get your thoughts on one of the topics we're going to talk about. But, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you enjoyed the big board. Y'all are the best. I love all y'all so much for, the donations, showing up, smashing the like button, doing whatever you can in your power to help me out. It's so very much appreciated by not only me, but by my family. You guys allow me to do this for a living. And you guys allow me, to do what I love, I love the draft, scouting for you guys. I love writing these reports. I love diving into the film. I love chopping up the film. I just love doing all this stuff for you guys and love trying to keep you guys as best informed as I possibly can. And I appreciate each and every one of you who reciprocate that passion I put in back with passion you have for this channel by always showing up, by being active in the comments, by donating to the channel, by sharing it with your friends, by just being active, by just enjoying the channel. That's all it really comes down to. That's at the root of stuff, at everything. I enjoy what I do, and you guys allow me to do what I enjoy, and you guys enjoy what I do and enjoy the channel. And it's very humbling. It's very flattering. And I just want all y'all to know that I love each and every one of you, even the haters who doubted. Because we're going to keep going. We're going to get that 7,000. It's draft season, baby. But free agency is right around the corner. I am so excited for this offseason and to see this team take shape in the vision of Mike McDaniel, our head coach. So I am excited to take that journey with you. I am prepared to put the work in to keep you as best informed along the journey, and I hope you enjoy the ride. Guys, until next time, I love each and every one of you. Enjoy AEW Revolution tonight. I know I will. Go Adam Cole, baby. All right? Appreciate each and every one of you. Stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. And as always, fins up all day, every day. And baby, I'll remind y'all again, that rebrand is coming and I'm about to knock some socks off. Love each and every one of you. Have a fantastic Sunday.